Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy D Lloyd, and over the weekend, I had a chance to sit down and play some Madden 21, the beta. I did play the beta on the Xbox One X, so that is the system I'm going to be giving my impressions on. I'm pretty sure everything's going to be very, very similar on the PS4 console as well. But my initial impressions, I know you guys definitely want to hear what I had to say. I wanted to hold off on making this video until I really spent hours and hours on the game and really formulated my opinion, because we all know when there's a brand new game, you go through that honeymoon phase, right? The game is amazing right out of the gate, and then you start seeing some of the problems. Now, mine was a little bit different. Mine was quite the opposite, actually. When I first sat down and played with the game, I really did not enjoy it, but at the same time, it was a beta, so I seen a lot of bugs, and I think that kind of messed with the immersion a little bit. I started to enjoy it then, and then I began to see some of the bugs and some of the things I did not like. So I didn't take a lot of notes. I'm kind of just talking straight off of the dome here, man. But a couple of things that I did want to point out. First and foremost, the defensive line play is something that I really did enjoy. Now, you guys know, especially if you watch my Washington Redskins series, I tried to play a season where I played as the defensive line because I always use linebackers or safeties. I tried to use the defensive line. It did not work like at all. Really wasn't enjoyable. And it feels like at times you're just getting lucky. Like you're just pressing buttons and hoping something works. Now, with everything going to the right stick, I thought it was a little gimmicky, but it made sense. The fact that you can choose what you want to do, I like. The animation seemed pretty smooth, and I actually had a good experience. And you've seen the differences between a regular lineman and a lineman like Calais Campbell, who I used a lot. He was actually getting to the quarterback, which brings me to the second thing that I did enjoy about the game, was that the quarterback from the CPU actually went through progressions, and they actually moved around in the pocket, scrambled, and even threw the ball while scrambling. You guys know EA is notorious from once the quarterback goes into that scramble mode, they basically don't look nowhere. They run in a straight line, and that is basically it. Patrick Mahomes was eating me up. Lamar Jackson was eating me up. So those guys definitely scrambled, and they scrambled more than the Tom Brady, right? More than the Matt Ryan. And that's what's supposed to happen, and that is what I seen in the game. And it made those mobile quarterbacks that much more dangerous because I had to worry about Mahomes making a play. Now, at times the AI did pop up. I had to play when Mahomes scrambled to his right and then launched the ball across his body all the way to the left, which ended up being intercepted, but that's still better than what we really seen in years past. So I'm impressed with the defensive line play, and I liked that the CPU, the quarterbacks, they were more dynamic, I would say. They were smarter with the football. They got rid of it very quickly when they weren't scrambling. That's something I also like because, it's 1, 2, 3, get rid of it. The quarterback animations are improved. They're still not all pro football 2K8, worthy, but they are the best quarterback animations we have seen in a long time in the EA game. The releases are good. You can actually get rid of the football and throw out of a sack. That is something that infuriated me with Madden 20. So that was very good. Now, with the passing game, I did feel like for whatever reason, the secondaries were very sluggish. They were slow to react. It kind of felt like you were in molasses a little bit. And I think in general, the movement, especially while playing defense, has taken a step backwards. Now, I thought maybe I just had to get used to it for a while. But after hours and hours of playing it, I really just did not enjoy the movement. I think they were trying to create, a scenario where linebackers or users aren't as powered as before, because if you have a user linebacker who has speed or a safety, you can kind of run around the whole middle of the field and take everything away. That is not going to happen unless, of course, a patch happens or they tweak it before the final release. That is not going to happen. You're basically going to play your zone, play your man, and that is it. You're not running around and taking away the whole middle of the field anymore, or the whole side of the field. Those days are gone, like I said, unless they patch it. So that's something that I didn't quite like so much, but I do get it if it was done intentionally. But just the way it feels, it did not feel very smooth or refined to me. So that's something I did not like. I did like how the corners played the ball at times. They were more aggressive. They made more plays. I like that. The receivers catch more passes. I don't know if that's in my head. It seemed like they played a little bit better. They made more contested catches than they did in the past. It wasn't OP by any means. They still dropped passes, but Julio Jones, you could rely on him to make a catch. Travis Kelce, you could rely on him to make a possession catch. I liked those things. I'm hoping that they're not changed in the final version of the game, but that is something that I also thoroughly enjoy. Now, the running game. The running game is something we need to talk about, right? Because we all know the running game was completely overpowered last year, and it is definitely toned down a bit. Now, I think the running game from the CPU is better. And what I mean by that is not like that bogus type of stuff, right? Like the running back, especially like Todd Gurley, right? He will make a lot of moves. Like his juking was better. His spin moves, like the AI actually used, the array of moves a lot better. And that's what made it harder, to try to stop the run game, which I liked. I have no problem with that. It's just when you can't do anything, which we seen last year, where running gets infuriating. On our end as the user, it wasn't as OP, but you still had games where you could run all over the place. There was a couple guys online I was breaking loose with Damian Williams or even Mark Ingram. So I actually did enjoy it. The fumbles have been tuned down, which is good, especially from the running back position. I didn't see a lot of quarterback fumbles, though. So I know that's something you could change in sliders, or maybe you could change post-release, or maybe they can even get that in definitely by the release of the game. There wasn't enough quarterback fumbles. I know they wanted to tune that down because guys like Lamar Jackson, you want to be able to run with them, which Lamar Jackson is crazy in this game. Without a doubt, I think is going to be the best player in the game. Lamar Jackson was a monster. But the fumbles to me, I feel like could be bumped up just a little bit. Tackling, I thought was really fluid and really good. It didn't make sense in the marketing when they were talking about realistic open field tackles. I could see kind of where they're going with it. I still don't think it's the back of the box feature, but the tackling and the animations are a lot better. No more is it, all of a sudden someone just runs to a brick wall. If he has that momentum, he's a bigger player. It looks like the majority of the time he's going to fall forward, and you're going to get a more organic, I would say, animation. So I do like the tackling a lot. I think it is way more refined than it was in Madden 20. And I'm trying to think. I think that is basically everything, unless I'm missing something there. The receiver DB animation, like I said, they're similar to last season, but I feel like they're more refined a little bit as well. But if you weren't a fan of 20 or 19s, you're not going to be a fan of 21. The new zone drop mechanic where you could choose the distance really of the zone coverage. So if you want to drop back 5 yards, it's increments of 5, 10, 15, 20. I believe it's up to 30 yards. That worked as a whole. I feel like zone coverage just needs to be tweaked to be more powerful. I still don't think it was where it exactly needs to be. I think that needs some work. I still think man-to-man coverage, especially if you got those guys, could be an advantage. But other than that, man, I think it was a solid beta. Now, I will say this. If you're not planning on getting Madden 21, especially because we don't know what is happening with franchise mode, and you're stuck playing Madden 20, you're not going to miss a ton. The game is a better game. It does play better. I don't think it's a step back. But is it a drastic step forward? No. I think it's just a more refined game. It's like going from an iPhone 10 to iPhone 10R or 10S or whatever. I don't think it's like a major jump forward. Of course, if you want the latest games, get it. You will feel a little bit of a difference. But I went from playing Madden 21 basically all weekend to the game that you see on the screen right here, and I did not feel like I downgraded really in any way. There's some tweaks. It's a little bit different. I like the movement better on 20 than I do on 21, at least on the defensive side of the ball. They did change the control schemes a little bit. Instead of flicking the right thumbstick up for a truck is now Y or triangle. Up on the right thumbstick is the hurdle button for whatever reason. I didn't really get any hurdles. I hurdled a lot at first because I kept thinking I was truck, so I kept hurdling. I didn't hurdle anybody at all. Nobody hurdled me either. So they also got rid of the spin steering, where you will hold L2 or the left trigger and then spin, and you can kind of spin in the direction you're going to. The left trigger, as far as I'm aware of, is just the taunt button. So don't make that same mistake that I did. I don't know why they got rid of that, but they did. Oh, and I think the celebrating after like everything is completely unnecessary. I get it. I feel like it popped up a lot. It's nothing that's a deal breaker. This is me nitpicking at this point. Nothing that's a deal breaker, but I felt like it came up a lot. And a lot of times you're just doing the same celebration they would have done by default in Madden 20. You just now get a prompt to be able to do those taunts. So that's basically my impressions. It's a better game than 20. It's not a crazy leap. But franchise mode, I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like, what are they going to improve with that? Now, if you're getting next gen systems, you could probably just go ahead and get this Madden and then hope for the next gen Madden to be good, especially with the fact that when you buy it on current gen, you get it for free on next gen. But I mean, it's a solid game. The gameplay is improved. Like I said, just nothing crazy. So I'm not, like super excited for the release of Madden 21. It didn't sway me in that way. But they're going in a better direction. My thing now is I didn't hate the gameplay of 20. I don't hate the gameplay of 21. Franchise mode, guys. EA, if you're listening, franchise mode, add something to the mode, and then I'm going to be happy. I'll be a happy camper, man. But that's my thoughts and opinions. If you guys have played the beta, let me know what did you guys think about it in the comment section below. Did you walk away impressed? Are you kind of meh? Let me know, what you guys think about it. And do you plan on buying Madden 21 day one? That's what I want to know. I know a lot of people here will end up getting the game, but do you plan on getting the game day one? Let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. It's your boy DLloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.